Hello everyone, I'm Mariana Brasfield and I'm excited to share with you my Capstone project, the culmination of my journey in the LDT program at the University of Houston. Over the past year, I've dedicated myself to addressing a pressing issue faced by educators like myself, which is preparing students for digital standardized tests, particularly the STAR exam here in the state of Texas. As a STAR grade level teacher, I've personally experienced the challenges of adapting instruction to meet the demands of this new format. One of the most significant issues we've encountered was the requirement for students to have prior experience with the testing software and new item type questions of the test, which often provided students with unnecessary stress and anxiety, and it has presented itself as a significant barrier for both educators and students alike. To tackle this problem, I had decided to focus my project on helping educators master the Texas Formative Assessment Resource Software, TFAR, to create assessments that closely mimic the STAR format. By empowering educators with the knowledge and skills to navigate TFAR effectively, we could create a more supportive environment for students and enhance their confidence in using the software. Educators would also gain valuable insights into students' areas of difficulty, enabling them to tailor instruction more effectively and drive student learning forward. Throughout my presentation, I will walk you through the development process of the website I created to support this initiative and discuss the various components that make up my Capstone project. Before we dive in, there's a little bit about me here in the introduction. I am currently a third grade math and science dual language teacher, and I have been in the classroom for about 7 years. I received my bachelor's degree at the University of Houston in 2016, and I am currently in my last semester of the LDT program at the University of Houston. I've learned a lot these past 2 years and have a newfound appreciation for learning design and technology and the role it plays in education. I am excited to incorporate what I have learned these past 2 years in my career as an educator and as I continue to learn and grow as a professional. After graduation, my goal is to continue with my education and pursue my interests in technology and programming. As an educator and lifelong learner, I have always valued experiences and knowledge, and because of that, I love to travel, and my ultimate goal is to see as many parts of the world as I am able to with my husband of 5 years. Now, diving into the instructional design document, I'm going to walk through the process that I went through to create the document. For my instructional design document, I wanted to develop a comprehensive training module that could be used in a group setting and be used independently by educators on my campus. Using the dig and carry model, I was able to break down the components of the lesson to focus on what I wanted learners to gain from this lesson. My goal statement for the project was all 3rd through 5th subject grade level teachers at Sheldon Lake Elementary will create a 10-question assessment by selecting a minimum of 3 new item type question formats and 7 multiple choice question formats using the question item bank using the Texas Formative Assessment Resource, TFAR, software. Once I had a clear understanding of my goal, I was able to conduct an instructional analysis of the goal. By conducting an instructional analysis, I was able to identify the major steps of the lesson, ensuring that I was able to follow a structured learning approach. Additionally, a thorough learner analysis and context analysis allowed me to understand the learner's current skill sets, attitudes, motivations, and preferences, which allowed me to design the module more effectively. Having completed these components of the dig and carry model, I proceeded to develop the objectives that aligned with the overarching goals and clustered them into a coherent lesson, enabling me to design the lesson more effectively. Having these components finalized, I was able to create the instructional materials for this project. For the materials, which can be found in the multimedia section of my website, I designed a microlearning module using Articulate 360. I also embedded several instructional videos in the module that target different steps of the goal. In the module, I created and included a checklist that allows the learner to keep track of their progress as part of the evaluation component of the design document. As part of the Capstone project, we had to conduct research on a topic that was relevant to our instructional goal, and then conduct that research and synthesize it into a literature review. For my literature review topic, I chose to research the impacts of digital state testing on student achievement. My research focused on 4 different topics, all of which play an important role in the standardized digital testing. Those topics are digital testing in education, technological infrastructure, impacts on student achievement, and the pedagogical adaptations. The first discussion point is digital testing in education, which focuses on the advantages and disadvantages of standardized digital testing. Some of the advantages discussed were the cost effectiveness of digital testing versus their paper-based assessments and the reduction of human errors during the administration of the exam. According to the research, the online digital tools that were made available to students during the test made the test more accessible as they resembled classroom experiences. Despite the effectiveness of a digital test, students struggled with the formatting of test questions, especially during the English language arts tests, where the passage was formatted to fit smaller screens, making it difficult for students to read. The research also highlighted the inconsistencies in technological infrastructure and brought forth issues dealing with equitable access to technology. The research found that students with limited access to technology outside of the classroom tended to perform lower than their peers with access to technology, as they were able to log in more learning hours. Challenges with the infrastructure led to slow loading times, to students being logged out of the test, and login difficulties, all of which resulted in irregular test results and missed deadlines, leading states to grant extensions, further complicating the testing process. Moving on to the impact on student achievement. According to the research, digital testing has led to substantial decreases in student performance, and especially in subject areas like math and reading, with a significant decline in ELA performance. However, some researchers argued that there was no correlation between lower test scores and the mode of delivery for standardized tests, suggesting that additional factors could be affecting student performance. Which brings us to the last section of the review. The last point in the literature review focuses on the adaptations to pedagogical practices. According to the research, there are 2 factors attributed to the students' challenges with online high-stakes testing. The first is the fragmentation of knowledge, which, according to Wayne Out, deals with content that is taught in isolated pieces that focus on the content of the test. Additionally, teacher-centered instruction, which, according to Posel, focuses on lower thinking skills that teach to the test, has also affected student performance by constraining a deeper understanding of the content, resulting in poor student performance. These challenges, coupled with the redesign of state testing, has added an extra layer of difficulties, particularly for students in the state of Texas. The state of Texas has recently added interactive questions to the state of Texas Assessment of Academic Readiness STAR as of the 2022-2023 school year. These new question types were designed to be aligned with classroom experiences and to the types of questions teachers ask in the classroom. However, new item types were found to be more challenging than static questions as they assessed higher order thinking skills. This further emphasized the misalignment between the rigor of standardized assessments and the role of teaching practices centered around test-specific content, which ultimately neglects to provide students with valuable learning experiences in which they apply higher order thinking skills related to real-world scenarios. In conclusion, my capstone project represents the culmination of my dedication to addressing an important issue in education. As an experienced STAR grade level teacher, I understand the challenges educators and students face in adapting their learning to this new format. Throughout my presentation, I've walked you through the development process of my project and discussed the various components that make up my capstone project for the LDT program. Thank you for your time.